Good day, everybody. Tim Haefke from Top Notch Trading here on Wednesday, November 26th, with today's MrTopStep midday report. Well, I'm going to go back to the bonds a little bit because they're very important and what I was talking about the other day. And if we look at our first chart here, we went from a spike in October to make a high of 148 even. And this high took us down to the monthly low in November at this time at 140.08. Now with this in return comes the Fibonacci idea. And if you look here, our first line is the 382, which says it's 143.67. So I come in this morning, what's the overnight high? 143.06. So the bonds are testing this first Fibonacci level when we're entering the regular session open at 7:20 this morning. The data this morning took them to new highs. So moving forward, if we go up to the 50% here, that says 144.04. And if we get to the 618, that's 145.012. So 145.01, 145.02 from this move in October to this low in November. But one of the most important ideas comes here. Next chart, please. Comes at this first move from the high down to this low here. We popped up right here. And if you see this last high is 143.16. 143.16 has been a 5-week high that did take us down to this 140.08. And when I left the building this morning, 143.16 was hit as our dead-on high right now. However, because of the nature of the push, the trend is going higher with this future moving forward. So with that in mind, remember, 50%, 144.04, 618, 145.01 or 02, whatever you choose to accept as a target. So now, I don't want to sound redundant, but I just want to recap a little bit of this channel trend in the S&P mini right now. So let's go to the next chart. As you well know, it keeps continuing riding this channel trend. Last Friday, it showed us a target of 2067.5, and by the time we opened, they got up to 2072.5 in the pit, but a 72.25 in the mini. But however, by day's end, when it came through, it got below the 67.5 level, which created a shorting situation that took us down to the daily low at that time of 54.80 pit, 54.75 for the day, which I was recommending that as a big target area at a pivotal price of 57. But moving forward, I also mentioned that let's see how high this extension will be on this weekly channel trend as it continues up its path. And lo and behold, I come in from the weekend trade and it gives us, guess what, 2072.20, if you want to call it the big, but 2072.25 in the mini. And lo and behold, what happens? Hey, this week we've seen it tested 3 times. The mini went up to 73 to make a high from the 72.25, but the pit held the 72.5 high once again. Okay, I come in this morning, what's the overnight high? 72.75. We've had numerous opportunities to put on a short situation at this level, and the risk reward has been really in the money. But I want to go back to one thing today that's happening. We have yet to see a settle above this weekly channel continuation chart, but now I'm going to go to a daily continuation and look at this. Excuse me. I will go to the Nasdaq, same weekly channel trend chart, okay? Excuse me, I wanted to point this out. Same formation as the S&P, but notice, it has, since 2014, seen weekly settles above it. We've seen a couple pullbacks here that have double, triple bottomed here, that the next move did see an extension. I mentioned that if the spook can ride this channel trend and keep intact without a settle above it, the target in the Nasdaq is 44.6175. I left the floor this morning, 43.0875. A couple weeks ago, this had well over 250 more handles to reach the 44.61.5, and by this time right now, it's down to 152.75 handles. And if they can go in sync with the S&P to find the 44.61.5 and this S&P can run with this ascending channel trend higher, it should be interesting. Last week, it went from 67.5 to 72.20 quarter, so that's 4.75 handles. So next week, we're looking at a possible move from 72 quarter up to 77. But now I'm going to show you the last important one. This is one that I wanted to point out. This is the daily, and you can see, we go back, and you can see a couple days we did settle above this channel trend, coming back all the way in here and here. But we kept rejecting that idea that led us into some nice retracements, especially with the one that found here, not to sound redundant. However, once we penetrated above this weekly trend line, and at the time it was on a daily basis at 62.20, the key was to settle on that Friday last week at 61.80. Okay, pit 61.75 mini. It ended up settling underneath the daily. However, we come in on Monday, and every day this week so far, look at this. We're settling above this channel on a daily basis every day. And if you take this channel trend and you come back down and you go all the way over here, do you know what this channel trend line is at today? It's at 2065.29. 3 times today on the overnight before we opened, 65 quarter low. Twice on today, 65 quarter low. So what all I'm saying is if we can get back below 65 quarter, we have a good chance of seeing further erosion. I'm going to leave it at that. And I'd like to wish everybody a safe and holiday weekend, healthy turkey. I'm going to eat too much, but football is the name of the game. Have a good weekend.